Yeah.
Back with another episode, man.
Back.
And still dealing with those focus issues. And,
You know,
but we fixed it.
I want to respond to a comment and be like, man, we just make it out of focus because we know it's going to bother y'all.
Exactly.
It's all intentional.
No, seriously. But, I think after reading all those comments, we kind of, the other thing to introduce us, the fuck we need to intro. Oh, y'all know what it is, a podcast. You know who it is.
Right.
Y'all been here.
Talk life in the building.
Yep. Zyan, Tread, whatever. I'm here. But anyways, the amount of toxicness in our community with filming.
Man, it's just in photography, videography, just in general, man.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's really interesting.
It's interesting. It's like female behavior sometimes with some of these.
It is. And also
some of these guys.
Crabs in a bucket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where it's like, you're doing great things. I'm not saying nobody should have handouts, but it's like, if you meet another skilled photographer, videographer, you want to put them onto a project or vice versa. Like some people are like trying to gatekeep their own connections.
Yeah.
And I get it to a certain extent because you worked hard to get to where you're at. But at the same time, it's kind of like crabs in a bucket, man. Like, spread the love. Why are we hating on each other?
It reminds me of the fitness industry, where you have, people that's been in the gym for years and years and years, and they'll post a video of somebody in the gym doing something crazy. It's like you don't know their journey. That could be their first day, their first week in the gym, and it's like instead of discouraging and tearing down, help them, build them up. Right now, we do this. So the podcast, if it's out of focus, it ain't because we can't have it in focus, or it's not because, you don't have the gear to be able to have it be whatever.
Yeah.
You just don't put that much effort into it because it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Right. Client stuff, you would make sure it was in focus. But us sitting down for a podcast, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
But if this was new to you, we should just do more to help. Like if it bothers you so much that something is out of focus, instead of comment on it in a negative way, send a DM and be like, hey, I noticed that your podcast was, it was a little soft, it was out of focus, or, do you need some assistance in making sure that it's in focus or whatever? That's the right way to do it.
That's the right way to do it.
You know what I'm saying?
And, again, I could care less about the focus.
Right,
personally.
Like,
it happened. I had it on auto and we sat down and it looks good on the monitor. It's really hard to tell sometimes on the monitor. But anyways, it was kind of like I get in my DMs all the time where people want to shadow me on things, and regardless of like the camera they have, stuff like that. I'm like, oh yeah, sure, you can shadow me. And there's other photographers, videographers that I'm like, I not only want you to shadow me, but also I need a B cam. Like,
for sure.
You have enough gear, you have good work. I want a B cam, out of you, or a BTS or whatever. And it's kind of like, that's a little bit higher role. So, but I would never tell anybody, no matter what level they are, oh, you can't learn, or like I can't help you. Like I'm always good for dropping game in people's DMs, how to get started, how to network, how to, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it's not enough of that in the community.
Gatekeeping is crazy in our community. Like it's crazy, and I there's no other way to put it than insecurity, right? Because at the end of the day, we all started at the bottom. Every single one of us held a camera for the first time at some point over the course of what we do. So all of us started not knowing anything, and we had to learn. And it's like you learn by people that know helping you and giving you that education, giving you that knowledge, giving you that assistance. And, I'm real big on, I won't do everything for you, because that's where like I've always had a kind of a barometer of what I'm willing to do and what I'm not. It made me think there was a time, this was a few years ago, I did a YouTube video on my agreement that I give to clients, and somebody messaged me and was like, can you send me what you have? And I was like, well, no, I'm not going to send you what I have, because I put a lot of work into that. I paid attorneys to review it, so it's like I'm not just going to just do all the work and hand it to you. I was like, I am more than willing to help you write your own and come up with your own, and they wasn't for that. So it's like that. I'm not going to do all the work for you, but if you want some knowledge, like I have no reason to withhold knowledge. Like I'm gonna help you learn, and then say, here you go, now go out and apply it. But our community don't want to do that.
And I think I was fortunate. People who don't know about my journey, when I was 16, I was working for a photo company doing school yearbook photos. First ever job.
Good old school, but
yeah, you know. But video was always my passion, and I would still have video cameras. But my mom had a little connection with the guy who owned the company. You know, a little job, put gas in my car. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Simple stuff. So I learned from there. But he had a connection in the video world. A guy who kind of took me under his wing. Shout out to Chess. He like, I remember he put me on to like my first commercial shoot. And when I tell you, it was so eye-opening because he had the same camera as me, the Blackmagic 4K, and his camera looked so much different than what I was doing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got this type of look, this type of... So I'm over here like low-key just taking notes, like looking at his shutter angle, because I didn't even honestly know what shutter, like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Where's his ISO at? You know, like white balance inside and how he's lighting, and also like all these things that he's doing to get this type of look. Because I couldn't believe this is the quality he's getting out of this camera. He put me onto ND filters. I didn't even know what ND filter was. I'm like, oh, you put that on outside? It's not as bright. You're right. You know, like, but back to what you're saying about coaching and teaching and not just giving to somebody. I literally shadowed him for free. He made X amount of dollars doing this. I didn't want the money. And I feel like not a lot of people are willing to just these days to just really shadow somebody who knows what they're doing, and being like, people are too worried about the money. Me, I was not worried about no money. I really wanted to learn. And I constantly say the stuff I learned from him made me however much money I need to make in the future.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and they put me onto my first movie set, all the other stuff too, and got my first IMDb credits, all this stuff. And it was like just somebody who was showing me, but not giving me his playbook. Like,
and and see, there's the balance. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna give you the fundamentals. So it's kind of like, I'll give you the ingredients and I'll give you the instructions on how to mix it and put it together, but I'm not going to do it all for you. I'm not going to do the mixing. I'm not going to put it in the oven. I'm not going to, you know, keep my eye on the time. I'm like, I'm not going to do all that for you, but I'll give you the fundamentals. Like, it's your responsibility to take that and then figure out how to make that work for you. Because the way I make my cake, you might want yours differently. You know, I don't want you to do it exactly how I do it. So if I give you the ingredients, you might say, yeah, you know, it calls for a quarter teaspoon of sugar. I put a half. You know, I like a little bit more. You know, so that's really what it needs to be. But you have the people that know don't want to help the people that don't know.
Exactly.
The people that don't know, a lot of people that don't know, have a little bit too much sense of entitlement and sometimes think that they know more than what they actually know.
Exactly.
So then they kind of come into the fold trying to school the teacher. And it's just like, that doesn't work.
Nah.
You know, so it's like everybody has a position. And if you just play that position, we all can be successful.
Exactly.
But it's hard to find everybody playing that position. The teacher doesn't really want to teach. The student doesn't really want to learn, or they think they already know, and they're not humble enough to be like, hey, I don't know, like, educate me, please. And so nobody really gets to where they could be if we all was just like playing that position.
I feel like, honestly, in the Vegas scene, I'm going to say this really broadly. I helped put on a lot of younger guys around my age into this because, you know, they saw me doing a lot of corporate stuff, a lot of stuff with influencers, athletes, rappers. You know, they're like, yo, how do you get to this point? So a couple of them I really brought on, hey man, if you want to do BTS, you go meet this person right here. You know what I'm saying? Or some of them got kind of good, and I had some other connections. Like, I had an influencer that I worked with. Well, my life went in a different direction where I was like, I can't keep filming you, bro, because I'm trying to grow myself in my career. But I have a friend who's just getting started. He's kind of dope. He's still learning. He would, you know, be great to follow you around, and you could pay him. And so I'm always trying to plug people too, where it's like, just because I can't do it don't mean I don't want people around me to not eat as well.
For sure. Now, do you feel like, in saying that, do you feel like we have any issue in our community with exploitation? So do you feel like there's people that take advantage of the new folks that are coming in?
Oh, yes, all the time. And I see this all the time. I literally saw, again, I'm not going to name any names, but I saw somebody literally posting like, I'm looking for a team. I need a cameraman that's going to want to see me win and do it for free. And this person has some followers and, you know, stuff, you know, it's kind of like, I get that, But at the same time, bro, you think because you are who you are, people are just gonna want to flock to you and work for free and edit for free and do everything. And it's like there's definitely exploitation for people who don't know, who's trying to take a high opportunity or like what they think is a good opportunity, and they end up walking away with nothing. And the person who did hire them walks away with it, you know, everything.
Right. Yeah. That always bothers me because you see that in the Facebook groups all the time where somebody is looking for, you know, a photographer to work an event. You know, so it's like, so you want somebody to come and do a headshot activation for 6 hours for exposure. Yeah, you know, and it's just like, and the problem is you have so many new people that's just getting in that thinks that is an opportunity. Because, and this has always irritated me. It's always bothered me. But people are like, well, yeah, you never know who I might meet, yada, yada. I'm like, that's the case all the time. Yeah, so then never charge money then, because everything you do, you may meet somebody that could get you this and put you there. That's always going to be the case, but it doesn't mean that you shouldn't get paid for the work that you're doing.
Agreed. And I think a lot of times, especially when people, you know, reach out to us or photographers, videographers in general, when it's like, you like my work, thank you. Yeah, but you think I got this way through? You think I got all this equipment, all this gear through exposure?
Right.
Or you think I got it from, you know, and money's not everything. Like, but how do you feel about, I guess I'll flip the question to you. And we kind of talked about it previously, but the models who are always, I see them on threads all the time, looking for a photographer to collab with, collab shoots. And it's like, respectfully, who are you? Is it a brand? Is it, wait, what is it? You got like a Nike deal and this is going to Nike for approval. Yeah. I might want to help you shoot that.
Right.
But if it's like, I'm just kind of, you know.
It's so hard because every photographer, when you're coming up through the ranks, you rely on collaboration.
Correct.
Okay. And so collaboration is a big part of our community. I don't think that you can have success without collaboration to some degree. But the longer that I've been doing it, the less that I want to do collaborations, because you get to a point where it's just like, what am I benefiting? And that's okay, because that's what a collaboration is. Like if I collab with you on something, like we both should be getting something out of it. If one or the other isn't getting something, it's not a collaboration. I'm just getting work for free, essentially. Yeah. So now where I'm at, I rarely do collaborations because number one, I don't see any benefit for me, but also even if I didn't see a benefit for me, I don't see the tenacity in the models to bring a concept and to have a vision and to have an end game. A lot of times it's just, I want to do a photo shoot because I want some nice pictures. And it's like, well, okay, I'm not going to collab just for you to have nice pictures because I'm not getting anything out of that. But if somebody came to me and was like, hey, I want to do this spec ad because I'm trying to get more brand work, I would have no problem doing that, because then I can say, how can I put my spin on it that helps with where I'm at in my career right now? Like I can still use that somehow to, whether it's lighting or whether it's, you know, you kind of packaging it in more of a brand shoot versus just this regular shoot. So I would still have some benefit there. Yeah. But rarely do I hear about models that are bringing all of that to the table. It's usually just, they kind of maybe have an idea, or maybe they just want to do a shoot and they just want to collab with a photographer. It's like, well, in that case, you really just want me to work for free.
Yeah. And I just got done doing another collab shoot. And actually, I enjoyed it. I think it has to be just
photo or video?
Video shoot.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I did both that day. But I don't know. I think working with people who are genuine, models who are genuine, who know also what they want from the shoot, and you can see how driven and passionate they are, it makes it a lot easier to want to do it, because it's like, yeah, I know I'm probably giving you service that cost, I could charge thousands for, you know, but I see something in you to make you, you know, I think with both of us working together, you could go further. Yeah. And also it's kind of like, okay, cool. Like after the shoot, she was like, you got full creative control. Whatever you want to do, you got it. She literally said, all I care about is the font. The font can be however you know, I put my name on screen.
That's funny. Like, hey, that font need to be what I need it to be now. Yeah. Don't be playing with my fonts.
My fonts.
Okay.
But, you know, she sent me her concept and her, you know, her stuff. And, you know, I was able to be like, okay, I like your concept. Here's what we can do. Here's what I'm willing to do with it. And you know what I'm saying? Work how I want to work. And I think it's something where, especially it's different if I haven't really shot something like that. It makes me want to shoot it to add to my portfolio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like your concept was really different to where it's not just basic following you around the strip or something.
Right.
Okay, I'm interested now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
My whole thing, I'm always going to look at what's your end game? Like, what's your goal? And for me to be on board, I have to feel like what we're doing is going to help you get further progress towards that goal.
Yep.
You know, so again, like going back to, okay, if you want to work with more brands, is the shoot that you're bringing to me, is it going to get you closer to working with brands? If it does, I have no problem doing that collab because I'm all for helping people reach their goals. And, you know, for me, it's like, okay, to do a shoot, a photo, video, whatever, if it's helping you advance your goals, then that's what I get out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. But a lot of times that's not what it is. You know, the goal is this, they want to do this. And it's like, this isn't helping you get here. So why are we doing it? Why are you doing it? Like, take me out of it. I'm irrelevant. Why are you doing this if it's not helping you get over here? You're taking an exit and going this way when you're trying to go there. What is the point of doing that shoot?
Yeah.
And it's like, that's what a lot of the models here, and probably everywhere, but that's what a lot of the models here I've noticed is that they do. And I'm saying this because there's something I want to talk about in that realm.
Okay.
They're it's almost like they're just going through the motions. They're doing shoots because I'm a model. So this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to do photo shoots. So they're doing it, but it's like, what is that doing for you in the bigger picture? Like, are you just shooting to shoot? Or was that a piece in the puzzle to help you complete this puzzle? Most of the time, they're not completing the puzzle. It's just a random thing that they're doing because they feel like that's what they should be doing. So where that segues is what I want to talk about. And I mean, you know, people may feel how they feel, may feel like, you know, I don't have no grounds to bring this up. But how do you feel about models oversaturating themselves? When I say that, like, what do you even think of when I say models are really oversaturating themselves? Like, what comes to your mind when I say that?
I think some models who just don't have a niche, where they just do anything and everything they can, and then when you become too available, there's no reason why you should be getting paid. There's no exclusivity. There's no nothing. You're literally walking the walk, shooting the shoot, shooting with who knows who and whoever, and it's kind of like part of it is weird, but it should be strategic. What you're dropping, what you're doing, who you're shooting with, what brands are you walking with, what shows are you walking in. I think all that plays a factor. And I always say, I think also models should do more than model. So I think the most successful models I've seen are girls who can also dance. Like, I'm not just talking about just dance a little something. I mean, actually do choreo. Girls who can sing, you know what I'm saying? Sing really, really good. And that's another aspect they can act, because the girls who can act really good. And then you know what I'm saying, there's different like little mini segues you should go into or have in your back pocket to be like, oh, I'm more than a pretty face.
For sure.
Because when I get on set, I can also, you mean dance, sing, act, what?
Yeah.
But it definitely oversaturated.
Yeah. So I think we on the same page, because I'm a big proponent for give people a reason to be excited to see you. There's a lot of models that I know intimately that I feel like fall into this trap of doing all of these shoots and constantly posting. And I don't at all say this in a negative way whatsoever, but this is the reality of it. A lot of the shoots are mediocre, right? You're just shooting to shoot. It's like going into the studio with no idea of what you want to do, and you just shoot, and it's like, okay, the picture is pretty, but it's mediocre. There's really nothing about that shoot that means anything. You just did that shoot to shoot, and you're posting every week, and you're not giving people the chance to miss you, so that when you do post, they're excited to see your content and it's actually something that people are wowed by and they really want to engage with. I think models need to really understand that quality is better than quantity. It's like, if you're doing a shoot, especially if your goal is to be a model and you want to make money from it, your goal should be, every shoot that I do, I should be getting portfolio worthy images. And it's like, portfolio is the best of the best of the best.
Yes.
Not the picture is pretty, is the best of the best. So it's like, if your goal is to be a paid model, you should only be putting stuff out that supports that, because there could be an agent or someone that comes across one post from you and you had an opportunity to make that be something that wowed them or something that it didn't even stop the scroll. So if you start getting in the mindset of everything I put out, there may be somebody that sees this, that this is the only interaction that they have with me. I need to make them want more.
Yes.
That should be the goal.
Yes.
And there's too many models that it's just like, I'm a model, I'm just going to shoot and I'm just going to post, and I'm going to post because, you know, I want to grow my following. And that's the wrong mindset, because growing your following doesn't get you paid. You know, it can, to a degree, help get you in front of things, but your main goal should be, everything that I'm doing should be something that if somebody sees it, they're like, I need to dive deeper into this person right here.
And I'm gonna play devil's advocate here. I think the same for photographers and videographers.
Absolutely.
And
absolutely,
it's one thing to shoot everything and shoot different things, but it's another thing to post everything and say, this is what I just did, this is my work. You know, if you're shooting, you're getting paid, you're getting paid. I'm not going to say don't take nothing, because, you know, people do all type of different shoots. But yeah, I kind of noticed that recently. This past week, for example, I shot basketball. I started with basketball in the beginning, and I kind of like just stopped because it was sports are to me though, it just wasn't most profitable, wasn't the most fun. It just wasn't.
There's no money.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing. I'm not
like
trying
fashion shows. There's no money.
Yeah, I'm not trying to offer packages to each player. Like it's too much work, you know. And anyways, so I'm there and I see some people who, you know, maybe follow me on Instagram, people who have probably saw me around but don't really know me. And it's like this one dude came up to me. He was like, "Dude, like I follow your page. Like I mess with your stuff. Like, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just helping out like my friend of mine, you know, just doing a little shoot for her." And he's like, "Oh wow, like, you know, I've seen the stuff you doing and stuff like that." And I think just having like, not trying to be Hollywood or saying I'm this and that, but having that form of exclusivity where it's like people are like, "Yo, bro, this is outside your realm. What are you doing here right now?"
Like, and that's how it's supposed to be. Right. Because every working professional, we're always doing stuff that you don't see. Okay. We don't post everything. You shouldn't. Okay. I'm going to say that and say it with my chest. You shouldn't be posting everything if it's not the best of the best. And the reality is, everything that we do, whether it's paid or collab, is not going to be the best of the best. Like I do shoot sometimes where I'm just like, yeah, like that looked better in my mind than it actually turned out. And respectfully, like that's not anything I'm going to post or really highlight, because it's not up to par with where I want it to be. So that really is how it's supposed to be. You know, it's like you post the great stuff, and the stuff that's not great, there's nothing wrong with that, but we don't have to put everything out there. We want it to be, you know, like I'm to the point now where, I mean, I don't really do any collabs, but if I do agree to do a collab with a model, and this isn't to toot my own horn at all, this is, you know, not at all, but it's like, if I agree to shoot with a model in this city, they hold that to high regard because they know the quality of my work. They know that I don't shoot with everybody. So it's like, okay, if I get to shoot with him, like I know that I'm going to get something amazing. That's how it's supposed to be. You know, it's like, you're not coming to me just to do a shoot. You're coming to me because I have this crazy concept and I know you're going to be able to execute it. That's where you want to be.
And, you know, that's the funny part, because I literally told, this was my homegirl, I was like, yo, like I don't do basketball no more. I don't think I'm the best fit, honestly. To do what you got to do. She was like, "No, I don't care, because I know if you come, you gonna make it look good regardless." I'm like, "Okay, you right," but at the same time, it's kind of like, I don't know, just weird. And so afterwards, you know, and another reason why I don't shoot sports, you know, little mini segue, is because I'm not gonna lie, she even knows it. She barely played. You know, she barely played. She got 5 points. Now, I still gotta crack you over the head and charge you a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But now you paying for something that you're not even proud of your results. And it's kind of like, that's why I avoided sports too, because it was too many times I show up to a game and then payment was a problem because of the fact that, coach didn't play me today. I'm like, well, I'm still here.
And we talked about that. We had texted about this, and what I said to you was, it's like, you know, you're paying for my time, not for yours. So, I mean, if you want me to come out to a game and you don't know what your playing time is going to be, you don't get to just pay for the minutes that you was on the floor.
Yeah.
You know, if you want me there and you know that you're not a starter, so you're not going to be on the floor most of the time, then you know that you're going to pay the same price as somebody that is a starter. You're paying the same thing because 2 hours is 2 hours. If I'm there for 2 hours, it doesn't matter if you were on the court for 10 seconds or 10 minutes. I still was there for 2 hours to capture that 10 seconds. You got to pay for it. Now, I understand that's hard for the person paying to understand that and be on board with that. But that's the way that it works. Like, you don't get to just pay for, you know, you can't go to a restaurant and be like, well, I only ate half of this, so I only want to pay for half. Yeah, no. It doesn't work that way. Like, you ordered it, it was $20. It doesn't matter if you liked it, didn't like it, ate half, ate all, you still got to pay $20. It's just the way that it goes. You go to a concert, you don't like it, you don't get to get a refund. If you had to leave early, you don't get to get half your money back. Yeah. It is what it is. You're paying for what it is, regardless of how much you're involved in it. And that's just the nature of what we do.
Especially for video, because with video, it's like your video relies on your highlights, all this other stuff. Right. Photos, if it was photos, you have to run the court. I got you. Click, you know, but video is like, oh, I got to put something together with this. You ain't do nothing. But I always tell anybody, and I actually had a friend who's trying to get into sports, and I told him, I was like, if you try and do this, your best bet is to offer, it's going to be a lot of work on you, but for the price point, offer at least 2 to 4 games, honestly, of I'm going to show up for 2 to 4 games, get all the clips I need to get, and then I'm gonna make you something dope. Yeah. Whether it's out to colleges or high school, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, because one game, unless they're really the star player, if it's basketball, they're dropping 20 points a night. Right. Or football, they're the quarterback or wide receiver. Right. Yep. Like, you're not getting much from that one game. You still need about 2 to 4 games worth of footage to even come up with a nice little highlight reel to then broadcast out. Because I used to do packages for high school players who were looking to send out to coaches for college. And I always tell them all the time, well, one game, a coach is going to want to see you across multiple games anyway. So let's plan 4 games out.
See, I need to connect you with a good photographer friend of mine, because she has shot sports for, actually, you know her. I ain't going to say her name on the podcast, sure, but she shot sports for some years. And I told her, I was like, first of all, you need to move to video for sports. Yes. I was like, there's no money in photos in sports. Nobody cares about pictures when it comes to sports. There's no money there. You're not going to get these people to get, like, no one cares. We live in a video world. Photos isn't going to get you anywhere. I was like, but video. And I specifically mentioned, like, people that want to send things to scouts, people that are trying to go to the next level. They need highlight reels, and trust and believe they will pay for a high quality camera highlight reel versus a phone highlight reel. Like, you're not going to get the same effect with a phone that we can get with our cameras. And at the end of the day, like, you need every advantage that you can have, because you may be great, but if it's on a phone, it may be hard for a scout to really see the greatness, because it, you know, sometimes we gotta just see just what we need to see. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta hone in on just that. And I'm like, there's money to be made there. It's like, I know you don't do video, but I was like, you gotta learn to do video.
Because photos can be faked, man. I mean, not fake, but like, you could be jumping for the ball. Right. Oh my God, he got a bounce. No, he missed the catch. Right.
Or but got you in a shot and you airballed that joint. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, that photo don't prove, it don't say nothing.
It don't say nothing, but videos, that was the biggest thing, because like I said, and honestly, that was a free game for y'all. But when I was doing sports, I really like doing little kid sports, because I was like, they got so much time. You know, these parents are paying me all this money. Your kid's going to advance, and they might drop it off by the age of 13. Right. You know, my target was high school juniors, high school seniors, even sophomores, you know, who are playing at a high level, where it's like, y'all want footage because y'all trying to go to college. Y'all trying to go D1. Right. College players who's trying to go to the league. Yep. You know, you want footage to showcase, even though their games are mostly broadcasted, so they don't really care unless it's a small college where they're trying to get more exposure and need something, but which is another target audience as well. But those were my two, you know what I'm saying? I was going after high school people and college people and then even G League, whatever. But yeah, I don't know. Sports really underpaying. And then
yeah, you know, I mean, so I think I told you before. I mean, I know a couple NFL photographers.
Oh yeah.
And one of them I'm really good friends with, and I was like, you know, hey, we men, we don't be asking, you know, we don't check each other's pockets. But I was like, I've always wanted to know, you know, as a sports photographer for an NFL league, like NFL team, you know, how much do you make? And I mean, I think it was like 28,000 a year.
Yeah, I got an offer.
And I was just like, man, and he was like, the thing is, I don't just shoot on Sundays.
Oh no.
You know, it's like I shoot on Sundays, any special events that they have, media days, draft, all of those things, like he's shooting for this stuff. Now, he does it because he has a regular 9 to 5 and he enjoys shooting the sports. So of course the extra 28 grand a year is totally fine. Like he's not relying on that for his livelihood. So it's kind of really like a hobby that he's, you know, getting paid to do. So it works. But it's like if you had aspirations of doing that full time, the money's just not there in sports, which is crazy because sports generates so much revenue. But they don't pay it. And that's where, I mean, it's kind of a whole conversation in itself. But as an industry, we hurt ourselves because we'll do things for free or for cheap because we want to break into a niche. Or, you know, we're new, we're just starting and it's exciting. You know, it's like when you're just starting, to be able to be on the sideline of a game is fun. And it's like, yeah, I really want to do that. But the problem that creates is now how do you go from doing it for free to making money?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, we ain't going to pay nobody because there's 100 photographers that's just getting into sports photography that will grovel at the chance to do this.
They know that. I got an offer. I was probably 19 at the time. From the Raiders, right? Straight up. I'm gonna tell you the offer. I don't care, but I got offered basically to be their social media / on-field video person. Basically, most of what I'm doing is for socials, for website, you know, all their video, all their photo stuff. They had like their own gear. They had Sony's, you know, they were rocking. You'll show up to the games, be on field, get content. You'll be backstage locker room, get content. All their little charity events, Raider players showing up to this and that. I'm there with the camera getting content. You know, you spend a lot of time with the players, staff, all that stuff. But the offer only paid $17 an hour. And for me at that time, I just was like, that was kind of like a slap in the face because I'm thinking like, not only are you the NFL, the biggest entertainment company in the world, a sports company, but not the world, I should say, but you up there. You're paying me $17 an hour. You think because you are who you are that I'm running to do this job. When at the end of the day, no, it's still a job that has to get done. And then it's slapped in the face when I gotta go. Oh, then also you had to edit. So the days you aren't shooting, you're in the office editing.
And I mean, were you gonna get paid for that, or did you only get paid when you're on the field?
No, you get paid for in the office editing too. But it's kind of like, I mean, I'm not sure about anybody else, but it's me editing for $17 an hour. That sounds like torture.
Well, yeah, I mean, Chick-fil-A pays $17 an hour.
You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, man, you moved to LA, they're $20. Some fast food is $25 an hour.
I'm like, I got to stretch out the editing time.
Yeah,
you want fast edits and you want to pay me $17 an hour? So within an hour's time, I just didn't see how that correlated in my mind. And people were at the time, I was talking to my mom, family members about it. They're like, oh, it's the Raiders. You should take the opportunity. You're young. And I was like, I get that. And you know what? So I followed back up with them. I said, straight up, I said, I'm interested. My question is there opportunity for growth? As a videographer, I don't want to just be on the field. Is there like a video director role, the AV side, even anything that I'm not even saying you have to guarantee my growth because y'all can't technically do that, but will there be a way for me to push up in this company as time goes on? I'll be on the floor now if I can rank up. He said no. And
he's like, hey, then
at that point, it's not going to work.
And here's the reason why I think that was a smart move is because I think people too often fall into the trap of opportunity. Right. People are always like, there's an opportunity. There's an opportunity. Opportunities are not guaranteed. And statistically, most opportunities don't come to fruition. Like it sounds good, but most of the time it doesn't become a thing. So the only thing you can base it off of is what is in front of me right now. And it's like, am I okay with this either now or indefinitely or for an extended period of time. And it's like, if you're not okay with what it is right then, like, don't do something with the hope that it's going to blossom into something else.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it doesn't.
It doesn't.
And at the end of the day, if you're doing that for $17 an hour, here's a mistake people going to think, oh, well, you know, I might, you know, maybe one of the NFL players that want to hire me and they'll pay me X. And it's like, no, they know that you're doing this for 17 an hour. So if I know you're shooting these games for 17, why would I come to you and be like, I'll pay you 100 an hour? I'm not going to pay you much more than 17 an hour.
Yeah.
Because I already know that's what you're making.
Yeah.
So like, none of these opportunities really blossom into anything.
No.
And it's like, you just don't want to fall into that trap.
You don't want to. And that's really, for me, it was just like, I got to put the organization aside and look at what I take. Me personally, can't speak for everybody else. I'm not judging nobody if they are. Am I taking a filming job for 17 an hour?
Right.
Am I taking the editing aspect as well for 17 an hour? I can't do that.
Right.
And that was for me at that time. And I made more just freelancing. So I was like, unfortunately, I got to decline this. You know what I'm saying? But keep me in mind for the future opportunities, all that stuff. Right. But
yeah. You also have to take into account the pressure and stress, because 17 an hour isn't 17 an hour everywhere. No. Right. So, I mean, if I'm 17 an hour to stock groceries at a grocery store, that's different than $17 an hour to be a cashier. Because stocking grocery store, I can put my headphones on, I'm chilling, I don't got nobody breathing down my back, I don't have to, you know, associate with customers and all that. Like, I'm just in my own world. So that $17 an hour is great. But if I'm like, you got to be a cashier and we be hella busy every single day, so you're gonna be working for every minute of that 17 an hour, it's not worth it. So, you know, you doing something for a big organization like the Raiders, you got a lot of pressure. It's not like you can, it's just like, oh, we'll just get whatever content you get and that's fine, whatever it is. It's like, no, there's a lot of expectations that comes with that $17 an hour. And that's what you got to take into account.
A lot of high pressure. Did you get that clip of that touchdown? Did you do it? And so, I was out of focus.
Right. And what do you think would happen if you had enough of those happen? What do you think going to happen? They're getting rid of you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're getting rid of you without thinking twice about it.
And I think another segue, I think when people in our industry go to stick with one brand, people will be like, oh yeah, I'll do 17 an hour there and I'm gonna go freelance on the side. That freelancing really goes away.
Right.
Because you don't realize how much time is really being taken from that 17 an hour or whatever you're locked into, you know, whether it's corporate, whether it's you know, you filming for a restaurant and that's your 9 to 5, whatever the case may be. But when you tell one company, hey, I'm your guy and we're going to make it either a W-2 or a 1099, a lot of the other stuff go out the window.
For sure. For sure. And you got to be available for them. So that's what makes it tough too. Because now if you got a shoot lined up and they're like, hey, we got this last minute charity event, they're expecting you to be there. Yeah. And again, you can only miss so many of those. You might be able to miss one, but let them come again with one and you got to not be able to make that one. Guess what? They're getting rid of you and they're finding somebody else. You know, so it's like, that is really what it is. It's hard to do. People think you can do both. And it's not that it's impossible, but it's very difficult when you are, it's like being on call. Yeah. You know, if you're on call, it's like, well, man, I can't go have a drink because they might need me. Yeah. So you're kind of married to that thing. Even though you got all this free time over here, you can't really use it because you got to be ready for if that call comes through.
Exactly.
So, yeah, I mean, it's so not to sound any kind of way, but this is how you can tell people that are really in the industry versus people that just see stuff on social media or think they know. Because these are the types of things that when you're in it, you understand how things go. You understand what you can do and what you can't do and what makes sense and what doesn't make sense. The people that aren't really in the nitty gritty of it, they're the ones that are just speaking in a perfect world scenario. And almost nothing that we do is perfect world. It's hardly ever. I mean, shoots never go according to plan. I mean, nothing is really ideal best case scenario. That rarely happens. So it's just like, you can kind of tell when people are really in this, even like when it comes to like comments and things like that, like you can tell the people that are really in this versus the people that are just talking to talk.
Exactly. And, you know, and this is not against nobody, but this is literally how I eat from this. Right. You know, every day I'm filming something or doing corporate, which again, take a lot of my time. But I ever said, hey, if I ever sit down happy for a good chunk of money.
Right. Right.
And the numbers look real good. So I was like, you know what? But that's me though, you know, and yeah, I don't know, but you could definitely tell on the comments and from people. I look at the pages, I'm like, and it's not so much your work, it's not so much anything, it's just like, I don't think we have walked the same paths in our journeys. And I think you're in it for whatever reasons. And I'm like, you can just tell who does this. I could take advice from people who.
Yeah. And that's it. So I've always had a problem with that too. Cause like I've been in forums for years and years and years. And I always hate the people that, and it's big in photography. Somebody will critique somebody on something. They'll go look at their work, won't feel that their work is as strong as theirs. So they're basically like, well, your opinion doesn't matter. Yeah. You're not qualified to even say that to me because my work is better than yours. Mm-hmm. And I've always thought that was dumb. Yep. Because if the criticism is constructive, mm-hmm. I don't care if you're like, if you looked at my photo and you were just like, yeah, it seems a bit overexposed to me. Your work doesn't have to be better than mine to make that, because if you feel that way, there might be other people that feel that way as well. That's outside of our industry. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't negate what you said just because my work is better. I may be able to explain to you why I chose to overexpose it the way I did. There may be a reason why, and then I can educate you on that so you know. Yep. Or maybe I can just be like, you know what, man, I was editing that. I was sitting down at my computer for 3 hours. Like my eyes just, I should have took a break. I didn't. Yeah. Or man, I had my brightness up when I was doing something else. I forgot to set it back to what I normally do. You know, whatever the case, like that could be very valid. Like I'm not going to discredit you just because my work is stronger. I'm going to look at what you're saying, and then I'm either going to be like, I agree or I disagree, and here's why I disagree. Yep. But you know, a lot of times the work is irrelevant. It's more so what's being said and does it make sense. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Like I always say, you know, not every coach play basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Like some coaches can be very good and can win, but can't dunk the ball, can't shoot the ball. Exactly. And you don't, hey, if you can help me win,
exactly,
it's irrelevant.
So I agree. Let's segue because we about that 50-minute mark.
So I gotta, so now we getting out of the photography industry because that's kind of been how we've been. We talk some photo stuff and then we go into life stuff. So I saw this reel, somebody that I follow posted it. That's the only reason I saw it. And it was a reel that was talking about the difference between tricking, courting, and providing. Tricking, courting, and providing.
I just had this conversation.
Now, I want to hear from you because I want to hear how you define it. Then I'll tell you how the girl defined it, and then I'll tell you what I thought about what she said. So tricking, courting, providing, like what's the difference amongst those three for you?
Tricking is when you have a girl that, and when you trick, you know you're tricking. She don't really care about you. You want her attention, and you gonna give her what she wants. She hungry, you gonna make sure she eat. She want to go somewhere, you gonna probably pay for it. And half the time when you tricking, you ain't even with her when she going to do these things. Like you be like, oh, I gave her money to go to the movies. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy, but that's tricky. You just like you just giving it up in hopes that maybe she give you, and she probably is giving you some attention. Probably is, you know, doing her job to be like, oh, if I just FaceTime him for a little minute, if I even kick it with him for an hour or two for the week, he gonna be like all ecstatic. But she ain't giving it up. That's tricky to me. You know what I'm saying? Courting it's a mutual agreement that, you know, we're out and we're doing things together. You know what I'm saying? And I want to take you out to a nice dinner. We're gonna go to the movies, we're gonna go bowling. I don't mind paying because, hey, I just spend time with you, just spend time with me. And also courting though, she can also pay because we're not together. So she can pay for something. She want to take me out. Cool. No problem. Providing is we're together. I'm providing for our lifestyle. I'm providing for us. I'm providing groceries in the fridge because we are both going to eat these groceries. You know what I'm saying? That's providing. Providing and tricking, difference is that mutual relationship. That's it. That's really all it is.
So I think you explained that pretty much how she said. I think. I mean, she said a lot more words. Didn't really give examples, but I think she said the same thing. So basically tricking, and I think the easiest way how she summed it up is a good way to put it. Tricking is like you're spending money on a girl that you would not be able to get otherwise.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good way to decide like if you're tricking. Like if you wasn't spending money, that girl wouldn't give you the time of day, you probably tricking. So it's like that one was easy. Courting was, you do nice things, you buy her flowers, you take her out to dinner. The part where she kind of lost me was she was like, you get her nice gifts, and I was like, to a degree, I was like, we ain't talking no $1,000 purse. Like that's crazy for somebody that you're courting, because courting, again, like you said, there's no relationship. There's that's me pursuing you. So there's a limit on those gifts.
I was courted with my back, but I was courted, and we went to the mall, and for the first time ever, I'm gonna say I'm gonna get it, but for the first time ever, this girl was like, "Hey, I'm gonna buy you something." Like, we just all walking around. She was like, "Oh, I like these." It was like underwear, Sabbath Finney. It was like 6 for like $60, $70 something. She's like, "I'm gonna buy you, 6 pairs you want." I was like, "Oh, you sure?"
Right.
I picked out my underwear, cool. Right. And then so when it came to like, "Oh, I like this perfume, that's $25 or $30. Oh yeah, sure.
Right.
Here's the card, because you spent way more on me already today. It's not a matter of who spends what, but in courting, you're allowed to do both, where I think the woman can also, if she wants to buy me something.
A lot of women would probably disagree with that.
That's crazy.
I don't disagree, but I do think a lot of women would disagree. And I know for a fact that in today's culture,
that's crazy.
If you were to say that to most women, they would be like, that's very sassy. And there's no way that a man should be wanting a girl to buy him stuff, which is wild, because in any healthy relationship, I'm telling you guys,
I didn't ask her to.
The woman buys stuff for the man.
Yes.
And the men appreciate it. And it has nothing to do with, don't come at me with the, sassy, gay, none of that. No. It's like in healthy relationships that exists. It really does.
And I think it's healthy because of the fact that for me, it wasn't like, oh, I really need you to buy me this. I'm not that type of guy. I'm not going to be like, can you please buy me this and this? No. Mm-hmm. Anything I want, I can afford myself.
Yeah.
You taking that initiative, I'm not saying she couldn't afford it, but hey, that was different. You know what I'm saying? Where it was like, oh wow, like this girl really do kind of like me a little bit.
Right. It means a lot. All right. So the last one, providing. That was a pretty straightforward explanation that she gave. It pretty much was like, the man does everything. So
I disagree.
I tend to agree with everything like how she said it. I agree, but I think there's nuances to it. First of all, so I got a question on the provider. I'm gonna get to it in a minute, but I think there's nuances to it, because nothing is black and white, and that's the biggest problem with social media. Everybody looks at things as black and white. You see that in the comments that people make. Nobody seems to understand nuance. Nobody seems to understand that just about everything in our life is shades of gray. There's very few things that are actually black and white. So it was like what she said made sense, but it's nuances, again, like going to tricking, that is what it is. It's like, yeah, if the girl wouldn't give you like, you're tricking, but courting, nice gifts, there's a limit to that. Like, don't think that somebody that's courting you should buy you $1,000 purse. That's crazy. But then also a provider, at what point do you think a man should become a provider in the timeline? So you have talking, you have dating, you have relationship, you have engagement, and then you have marriage. At what point on that timeline do you think the man should be looked at or should assume the role of being the provider?
Honestly, between engagement and marriage.
Okay. We on the same page.
Because
I'm not paying your rent and we're just we're just boyfriend girl. Like that's crazy that you would want me to pay all your bills just as a boyfriend girlfriend.
And see, that's my thing is like, why? If we engage, we married, we live together. You know what I'm saying? These bills, like I always say, and this is me, I don't care if I'm engaged or married, my lifestyle will probably not really change too much because I know my finances, I know everything by myself. So I wouldn't put myself in a situation to where if you ever leave, that's going to be a problem.
Right.
So the rent, I'm paying for it because I was going to pay for it by myself anyway. You know, now I might bring for that 3-bedroom because we have a kid on the way, but it's still within reason of what I can already afford. So am I providing for you because you don't have to pay rent? Technically, yes. But really, I'm still providing for my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I'm not giving you $1,500, $1,800 a month to go have your own apartment.
Right. That's the part that's crazy to me. That there's women that think that a man should be a provider in the sense of we don't cohabitate, but you want me to pay all of your bills.
Girl, you crazy.
Obviously, I'm paying mine, but you want me to pay all of your bills and get your nails done and take you out and do all of these things. And we're just a couple. Yeah. Like there's no real commitment there. Like, yeah, we're together, but we're just a couple. And there's women that really think a man should pay for all of that stuff just for the sake of having you around. And then okay, so because we're getting short on time, I want to talk about this too, because this irritates me. And I saw somebody had posted this where they were talking about, there was a girl that was like, you know, if I'm talking to a guy and he asks me what I bring to the table, he'll never talk to me again because I'm blocking him and da da da. And I don't understand, and I want your thought on it. I don't understand why women have such a hard time telling somebody what they're bringing to the table when they have no issues at all saying all the things they expect a man to do. They can give you a list of 30 things that they expect a man to do. But when it's like, okay, you want me to do all of that, what are you going to do in return? Not in a transactional way, but in everything in life. Nobody wants to give, and you never get anything. Like nobody would really want to do that.
Yeah, I feel that.
So I'm just like, I don't understand why women seem to have a hard time explaining what it is they're bringing to the table. And it's almost like, do they have an inability to think deeper than just, like when we ask that question, we're not talking transactional in the sense of money.
No.
I mean, it literally could be, I could give literally 20 things of what a woman can say. I can give it one example. If a woman was like, when you come home, I'm going to be your place of peace. I'm going to be the person that you can come to because I know you're out fighting the world and the world is crazy. When you come home to me, you got a place to be safe and you can express what you want to express. I'm going to be here to help you when you're down. Like things like that, where it's like, that's all, like we like, cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I need right there.
Yeah.
But it's like, they can't even say that. And it's like, that's not requiring a lot from you.
Yeah.
But it's like you don't even feel like, as a woman, you don't even feel like you should provide something like that. Like you don't think you should give answers like that. You really feel like you want the man to do 30 things and all you want to do is just sit down at the table. Yeah, and you crazy. In your mind, you really think that that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's crazy to me.
Because to me, good looks only go so far.
They will go away. You will age.
And like the biggest example I could say to that of what, and maybe this is what I needed and what I needed at my table at that time. But for me, I look at how a girl treats me when I'm sick.
For sure.
I was sick this past week. I got food poisoning.
Damn.
You know what I'm saying? And it was met with, oh, what do you need? Do I need to go to the store for you? Do you need 7-Up? Do you need medicine? I'm gonna run to Walgreens. You know, I'm low-key in the bed like, yeah, I do. Yeah. I'm getting a baby, you know what I'm saying? But like, it's kind of like, because I've been in a situation where I'm providing for this girl. I'm doing all this stuff and I get sick. Actually, I had food poisoning again. I stopped doing that. But, and then I was like, hey, like, can you go make me some noodles? Like, and you know, in the pantry, make you noodles. What? I'm not doing that. I'm not your maid. I'm not your mom. I'm not this. I was like, okay, but like anything you ever ask or want, even dinner every night.
Right.
I even said, or then it came out, she was like, oh, we don't have nothing in the pantry. I was like, okay, well, like, can you just go to the store?
Right.
It's right down the street. You can even take my debit card. I don't care. I just need food. Like, I'll pay for it. If you were about money, I don't care about that. I'm just, and so having like somebody not by my side, that was my ultimate thing. I was like, okay, you're not bringing nothing to the table that I'm at right now. Yeah. Because if I can go out and battle the world, if I come back wounded, you can't attend to my wounds. Right. And a lot of women probably be like, well, we're not your mom and all this stuff. But it's like,
and see that, so I got a story that I'm gonna add to that because it's similar, but I think that's a big problem with what social media has convinced women, that they think that being there for a man in that way is either, you know, I'm not your mom or I'm not your maid, or, you know, you're a man. Like, you shouldn't want me to do these things. And that's so unrealistic and crazy unhealthy.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Because no man wants to be this hardcore person 24/7, 365 days out of the year. It doesn't matter how hard that man is, how tough that man is. No man wants to be like that 24/7, 365, especially when he is with his lady and he's dealt with the crazy world and he's coming home to you. No man wants to feel like when they're at home, they got to fight the world at home too.
Exactly.
No man wants that. But for some reason, women have been conditioned to think that because we're men, you know, well, I'm not doing these things for you because you're a man and I'm not your mate. I'm not this. But there was a girl that I dated, and I can't remember if I told you this story, if I told my other guy this story, but this was a little bit ago. There was a girl we was dating. We lived around the corner from each. Like, she literally was 2 minutes away from my apartment. And there was one night, I guess I like slept on my arm wrong or something like that. I woke up and I like couldn't feel my left arm. Yeah. So I was thinking I was having a heart attack. So in thinking I was having a heart attack, to fast forward and then back up, I essentially had an anxiety attack, but I literally felt like I was having a heart attack. So I called 911. Then I called her and I was like, hey, can you come over here and just stay with me? Yeah. And she was just like, now, first of all, I wanted her to just say yes. Okay, we were together, right? She should have just said yes. Yeah. Right? You're 2 minutes away. But she was like, why? And I was like, well, I honestly am not sure if I'm having a heart attack or not. And I don't know what's going to happen. Like, just in case if like something happens, like I just want somebody here, you know, like if I you know, whatever, like, I just want somebody to be here. And she's like, well, what can I do for you? And I'm like, it's not about what you can do for me. It's just, if I have a heart attack, I just want someone to be here. Yeah. So instead of her coming over, I had to go to my front door and have the door open because I wanted the squad, you know, so I'm literally just sitting on my steps by the door just in case if I actually had a heart attack and went unconscious that they would be able to get to me. Yeah. And I'm just like, I don't ask you for anything. That's the thing. And I tell you, I may be having a heart attack and you're still like hesitant to come and be like, I feel like a woman that's really there for you. I could get you just saying, can you come and stay with me? They may say, what's going on? Like, what's up? But the minute when I tell you, I feel like I'm having a health episode, like that should be, especially when you're 2 minutes away. Yeah. I would have drove an hour, but you're 2 minutes away. Yeah, that's the thing. And she did eventually come, but by the time she came, I was over it because I'm like, I had to fight with you so much just to get you to come and sit with me, just in case I went unconscious, that I'm like, now I don't even want you here. Yeah, it's always about effort, I think, and just, I don't think we look to women to have all the answers and solutions, but it's just like, if you are just down to ride with me, no matter what situation, that's enough. Right. You know what I'm saying? Even on the flip side, you know, my girl, whatever, you get sick, and I'm not the best chef, but where you want some soup from, though? You know, right. Like, and that's what matters, right? You know it's not what you do, it's the thought behind it. Yeah, exactly. Right? The thought is most of the time the bigger piece of it. Yeah. You know, because if you're not a cook, I don't expect you to cook me a meal. Yeah. But if, you know, I had a hard day or if I'm sick or whatever, and I'm just like, man, like I'm exhausted, can you bring me some? Or I mean, these days it's even easier because now you could just DoorDash something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I mean, now it's like, what excuse do you have? But it's like, that's really all it is. Like, we just want to know that when we're not at 100%, we can count on you to help prop us up. Yeah. You know, we're not telling you to, you know, if we're at 0, you give 100. We're not telling you pay the bills. We're not telling you to do all these things. We're literally just saying, in those moments when we're not 100%, we just want to have somebody that's by our side that just helps prop us up. When I'm having a hard time standing, I just want you to come grab my arm, put it around your shoulder, and you just help me stand until I get my strength back. That's all we ask for. That's all. But for a lot of women, that's too much, apparently. Yeah, and then that's when you get the whole mom maid thing, and that's where I that really bothers me, because it's like, I don't know, it's just like, I'm not saying I expect that, but it's like, even let's say further down the line we have kids, how are you treating our kids? And that's the bigger thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that people don't talk about. Yes. That's the bigger thing, because regardless of what you feel a man should do or shouldn't do, how you treat a man when it comes to nurturing is in a lot of ways how you would treat anybody that needs to be nurtured. And if you're just like, figure it out, you would more likely than not be the same way with a son.
Yes.
You know, where it's like, no, I got to teach him to be tough.
Yeah.
I got to teach him to be a man. So, you know, and I get that too, because that's me. Like I very much feel that there's a separation between women and men need to be men, but there's a balance to it. And to be fair, men are just as toxic with it as a lot of women, because there's a lot of men that are like, man, stop being a bitch. Yeah. Man up, do this. And it's just like, I get that to a degree, but men don't have to be that 100% of the time. And I'll die on that hill, and I don't care what anybody has to say about me. That, like, I'm very secure with myself. Yeah. Like, no man wants that. Even the men that portray to be the toughest men in the world, they cry too.
Yeah, and that's the thing too, because I was actually, you know, it's crazy. I grew up, I know we're running all the time, but like I was probably more of an emotional kid. And then it was my grandma was like, hey, you a boy. You know what I'm saying? And I think to an extent it was necessary, because I was an emotional kid, for sure. Yeah. But then to the other extent, she may have done a little too hard, because now I can't cry. Now nothing really fazed me. I be chilling. Yeah. But you know, but for like my own kids, where it's like, that's the biggest thing I fear is, I tell anybody any day, I don't care about having a kid. I know I'm young. I know all this stuff. My biggest concern about having a kid is the mother. I gotta be next to you for 18 years. My kid gotta be next to you for 18 years. I'm not for being an absent father. I don't really go for that stuff. I want to be present in my kid's life to the full extent, from sports, whatever they want to do, to living with me, all that stuff. I even want it to be, my kid don't know what it's like to even be outside of a household with his mom and dad, you know, if I have that control. So I don't know. So that's why it's like, women nowadays, a lot of them, it's like, I don't see myself long term with you, because I can't see you being a good mother. And if I can't see you being a good mother, I can't.
Yeah, what are you doing?
What are we doing here?
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't make sense, and that's the reality of it. I think a lot of women have it twisted on how it is, and you know, the one thing, and I know we over time, but the one thing that I think a lot of women, a mistake that a lot of women make, and men make the same mistake. So I really shouldn't say it's one or the other. But too often people take advice from people that aren't successful in the thing they're giving advice about. Women are notorious with this when it comes to men. Oh yeah. You will listen to your homegirl that has never had a healthy relationship a day in her life, but you're listening to her on relationship stuff. That never makes any sense. If they've not proven to you that they can be successful, why are you taking advice from them? Fundamentally, that doesn't make sense. And I don't know why people can't see that. If you were to come to me and tell me I was doing something wrong, and it's something that you've never had success in, I will listen to what you're saying, but respectfully, I probably won't apply any of it, because how are you in a position to tell me that I'm wrong? Even if you feel I'm wrong, well, what do you have to gauge that by? If you were successful, you can be like, I've done that. It did not work. This is what did work. That makes more sense. But if you've never had success, you're not in a position to really give someone advice on how to do something. But women will more times than not listen to the ones that haven't had success. And the ones that have had success, they don't want to do that, because the women that haven't had success have made them think that that is such a sucker move that they won't do that. Even though you have proof. This person has been married for 20 years. But you won't listen to them because your homegirl over here told you that you shouldn't double text him, or you shouldn't do this, or you shouldn't do that. So you're going to listen to that because she's got you convinced that that's the way that it should be.
Yeah, and I think, I know we over time, I'm going to end on this note, but I was literally just having a conversation last night with someone about friendships even, and people in my circle. And because I rekindled a friendship with an old friend of mine from years ago, like, and they're like, wow, you know, that y'all wasn't cool. And it was like, well, he kind of gets me in a way where it's like, we both are in the entertainment side of stuff. He's more so in front of the camera, I'm behind the camera. But more importantly, we were friends before I became anything I am today, and before he became anything he was today, we were just two dudes watching Kevin Hart playing soccer and doing stuff where it's like you kind of want people around you that not only have been around, you know, before you were anything, but also that can just relate to you. And that's probably why I cut off so many different friends and people around me, because it's like, yeah, y'all gassing me up, y'all telling me all this stuff, but y'all are not in the same world as me. Y'all can't relate to me on the camera side. Y'all can't relate to me on, dare I even say, the social media side, making content side. Even when you try to tell me advice on, oh, you should put a picture up right here. You don't have your own house.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it could be anything like that, where it's like, and especially like guys my age too, because being this age, 21 and 22, a lot of people are still at home. That's nothing wrong with that, but it's like, yeah, like my guy had a friend, he just got a car, talking about, yeah, dude, you need to get you a new car. I got a 2026 car, and I'm like, I mean, if I wasn't paying all these bills,
right,
if I stayed at home with my parents, I would happily have the car I wanted right now. But it's like I don't really listen to people like that, because it's like, we're not in the same rooms, we're not doing the same stuff, and we're not making the same financial decisions right now. So, but I think in general, yeah, just not listen to people who haven't shown success in the category they're trying to coach you on.
You have to do that. And I was just talking to one of my best friends, and we were just talking about how, you know, a lot of people want to be coaches.
Yeah.
And to be a coach, you have to be able to show that you can win, right? You can't say you're a coach, but you have no evidence to back up that you can actually win. And at the end of the day, that's what makes a good coach.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I can motivate you all day, but if I don't help you be successful at your goals, I'm not a good coach. It really is that simple. So it's like, if I either haven't done it myself, which, to be honest, even doing it yourself isn't enough.
No.
Because what works for me, that doesn't make me a coach.
Yeah.
I have to be able to take something that works for you and coach you to success. That's what makes me a good coach. But there's just a lot of people that it's like, oh, well, because how I think is doing it is the right way, I think you should do it this way as well.
Yeah.
And that's not a good way to do it. But to your point, this is the last thing I'm gonna say for real.
Yeah.
You know, when it comes to like friendships and things like that, thing people have to understand is people evolve. And you evolve, things evolve in both directions. So sometimes you evolve and you grow apart from the people that you're close with. And the right thing to do is to separate yourself from those people, because if you're going this way and they're going that way, if you try to stay connected, you end up going that way instead of going where you're supposed to go.
Exactly.
But then it also works on the side of sometimes you disconnect from people and evolution happens and you guys cross paths again. And now it makes sense to be involved again, because we're on the same page, and that's life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I may be like, hey, I'm not with the going to the club stuff no more.
Yeah.
That's all you want to do. Like, respectfully, you know, it just doesn't make sense for us, because I don't want to do that. That's your thing, and that's cool. 5 years from now, that could be out of your system. And now you're like, oh, nah, man, I started a business. I'm doing this. And we reconnect and we back on the same page. So it's like, yeah, we might have had a falling out back then, but that's who you was 5 years ago.
Exactly.
Who you are today, you may be a completely different person. So I'm not going to be like, I'll never talk to you again unless you do something egregious to me.
Oh, yeah, of course.
I'm never going to be like, I'll never talk to you again. It's like, hey, if our paths cross and it makes sense for us to connect and stay involved in each other's lives, then cool. If not, I always wish you well.
Yeah. And last thing I'm gonna say is, you know, that's probably why like a lot of my friends are typically older. I'm 21, I'm hanging around 40-year-olds, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? I was with my guys last weekend, and a couple days ago, they 40s, and like they crib drinking, like, and it's like a whole bunch of just men, and it's me, you know, but overall, yeah, you're right. And with my friend, you know, we haven't probably talked like in 3 years, 4 years. It was nothing crazy. It was just, hey, I gotta go my way, you gotta go your way. No love lost. And so now we're gonna link up probably when I get back. We'll see. But yeah, it's been another episode, man.
Yeah, man.
We about an hour and 10. Not too bad.
Yeah, that's all good.
Anything you want to say before we head out?
I done said it. If I say something else, then I'm gonna keep talking. So I'm gonna shut it down right there.
Same. All right, y'all. Well, we'll see y'all next week. I'm out of town. Oh, I'm out of town. Yeah. Sit back in 2 weeks. Yeah. Something like that. All right. Peace.
Peace.